$1 Million Plus presents Palaces in Paradise. Today we are providing you with exclusive access inside some of the finest palatial estates in America, with the top real estate professionals representing these properties. Welcome to the special episode of Palaces in Paradise. Today we open with the West Coast and these breathtaking palaces for sale. We begin with a tour of the iconic Palm Springs mansion of the one and only Elizabeth Taylor. Today, you will meet the real estate agent selected to represent this amazing mansion. Plus, you will see and hear about Elizabeth Taylor's personal life in Palm Springs and see the palaces she lived in. We have the pleasure of being here today with Brian Cupid at Elizabeth Taylor's former Palm Springs estate. So Brian, what has made you one of the most successful real estate agents in the Palm Springs area?
Well, what I think it is, and thank you for having me, I'm helping people buy and sell homes, but my main goal is to help them through the process, build those relationships and just, because it can be a very stressful thing. So I mean, I've lost many nights of sleep myself, but so honestly, it's just helping people.
That's awesome, Brian. Thank you. Is this one of the most unique homes that you've ever represented?
This is one of the most unique homes I've ever represented, just with this history of, Elizabeth Taylor. She lived here from 2004 to 2011. Just been amazing. My sellers are amazing also. I've learned so much.
So please tell us more about this beautiful property.
No, absolutely. This property is located in a very special part of Palm Springs called Old Las Palmas. Old Las Palmas is known for the utmost privacy. This house is 4,216 square feet with 3 bedrooms in the primary house and then a detached casita. Something that I always point out to any agent that brings their buyers to this house are the 2 private patios off of each bathroom in the primary suites. It's spectacular.
And I'm sure we want to hear more about Elizabeth Taylor.
No, absolutely. So Elizabeth Taylor lived here from 2004 to 2011, and just the stories that I've heard have just been amazing to hear. One of the ones that stands out to me was in the very beginning. I don't remember which Christmas it was, but they brought snow in around the entire facility here and just had a great time.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
We have a special treat here. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mitchell. He was a property manager for 16 years for Elizabeth Taylor's estate. What can you tell us about Elizabeth Taylor, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, over the years, there's so many personal and family stories. And we go out for dinner and in a limo, and there would be encounters like we go to a movie. I remember one time and one woman came out screaming hysterically, Elizabeth Taylor. And she gently grabbed her hand and said, well, just relax, it's just me. And she had that effect on people. She brought you down to earth. She was very, very down to earth. And some of the jewelry that she brought out was just exquisite. It was incredible. The one piece that she had, I remember, it was a leopard or a tiger that she had on. It was 3-dimensional. And it was the tiger leopard looking down into a pond at its reflection. And it was just like nothing I've ever seen before. It was just so typical of what she would design. It was really, really incredible. And like I said, so many personal and family memories. I could go, on and on, but this was definitely her desert getaway. And I was humbled to be able to work with someone like her, to be able to, take care of her and travel with her, and just with all her valiant work with HIV/AIDS. I had to sort of like tap myself every once in a while. Was this real? That I'm actually spending time with someone like this. And yet she was so down to earth. She was just incredible. She always made you feel at home.
Oh, she sounded really neat. Thank you for sharing that. Really, that's great. We'll transport you to the most fantastic 300-acre estate in Thermal, California, and the remarkable maven of real estate in Coachella Valley representing this compound, Susan Harvey. Hi, Susan. How did you and Desert Pacific Properties get started, and how did you become so successful?
My business partner, Paula Turner, and I started Desert Pacific Properties 30 years ago when Lusardi Land Company, our former employer, closed their Coachella office. And we had spent many years working with the farmers. So we started the company just focusing on land and then expanded in the East Valley, and it's just been a great ride.
How did you get this listing?
Well, that's a funny story. Paula and I were out driving around looking for scenic backgrounds to take photos for our marketing materials, and we happened upon this property. And so we drove in, and our photographer started taking pictures, and then up in the golf cart comes the owner. That was kind of an awkward introduction, but through the years, we stayed in touch.
So please tell us more about the Keck Estate.
Well, it's a beautiful property, as you can see. It's 298 acres, fully irrigated, and it's very private and secure. Along the western and southern boundary of the property, there's a berm that keeps it very private. And then around the north and the east side of the property, they have very tall trees planted. So it's highly secure and highly private. The property has the main house, which is 7 bedrooms, 7 baths. It also has an 11-stall barn, which has the soft flooring. It has the misting system for the horses, and it's a beautiful barn. And then it also has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath guest house and acres of sheer beauty. The views of the mountains from here are breathtaking.
So what kind of buyer would like this property?
Someone that's looking for privacy, someone that's looking for exclusivity, someone that's looking for a compound. It also would be perfect as an equestrian estate because the Desert International Horse Show is now 4 times a year, and it's just a couple miles down the street. So that's become a big part of our community as well.
So now let's take a tour of the Keck Estate.
Well, 'Cause 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 'Cause
Only $1 million plus works for the borrowers, not the lenders. We shop for the lowest interest rates just for you, so you can shop for the luxury lifestyle of your dreams.
Hey there, what brings you in today?
Hiring our team guarantees that financing your forever home or home of the moment will be at the lowest rate, and you'll be making the lowest payments possible. Plus, you don't even pay $1 million plus 1 cent until after you fund your new $1 million plus mortgage.
Let's take a moment for you to learn about the unique way the ultra-wealthy mansion owners have borrowed billions of dollars in financing for the last 4 decades through Ira Meltzer, $1 million plus, the mortgage advisor for the rich and famous.
I'm Ira Meltzer, and it has been my good fortune to arrange the largest financing for a number of the most expensive palaces in America. During these past 4 decades, I've helped many families' luxury dreams come true by arranging billions of mortgage dollar financing for thousands of clients with the lowest mortgage rates and superior payback terms. Providing palaces for these high-profile and influential families as they increase their wealth. And then in 2016, we launched groundbreaking partnerships with 12 of the top private banks and other international financing institutions. From $1 million mortgages to the largest home financing amounts in America, no mortgage bank or broker can do what we do. Every week, I'm part of making the largest homeowner dreams become a reality. Sometimes we can even get our clients 100% financing to purchase mansions and estates across the country. My clients acquire their palaces, and I've been part of their phenomenal events in their lives, along with building more wealth for them for many years to come. So if you or someone you know is looking for $1 million home financing or more, have them contact me directly at $1 million plus.
And if that isn't enough, we moved to the late media mogul Harry Warner of the Warner Brothers estate in Beverly Hills, California, represented by the legendary king of Los Angeles real estate, Gary Gold.
Hi, this is Gary Gold, and last year I sold the Playboy Mansion for over $100 million. And it was the largest sale ever in the history of Los Angeles. One of the few homes in the United States that ever sold for over $100 million. And one question I get all the time is, who would buy a $100 million house? Now the short answer is the guy who really can't afford the $200 million house. But the long answer is how someone goes about and buys a $100 million house, with a few exceptions, is really no different than any of us how we go out and buy a house. Someone just doesn't go out and go, I want to spend $100 million. They go out and they're looking for what they want. And they will buy, as long as the market bears that value, they're willing to buy that. Now, $100 million houses have taken a long time. There was a time, like when the Playboy Mansion sold in 1971, it was the first house to ever sold for over $1 million in Los Angeles. And it was the same question, who would spend $1 million on a house? And then I remember, $10 million houses became like the thing. And then 10 became, the new $10 million home became 20. And then it became 30. So first of all, it's a progression, but the market really will bear it. There's places like in Tokyo that they're getting prices for condos that you just can't even believe, that make what we're doing cheap. If you're a billionaire, and that's who would buy a $100 million house, you've got to do something with your money. And so you've got to take a position and put it somewhere. And often they will diversify it into a lot of different things. But even if you do nothing, if you have it sitting in bonds or you have it sitting in the bank, that's taking a position. And if you make the wrong call, it will cost you a lot of money. So these people with this type of wealth accumulated have to do something with it. And buying a house like that has a lot of advantages. First of all, people who become billionaires are people who live large, really went for it. So they've got the personality and the mindset to do something like that. The other thing is, sometimes people think it's a good buy. They make this purchase and they're used to dealing in these really high number items, and they've bought a lot of things in life where people thought they were crazy, and then they turn around and sell it to someone else for $150 million. Also, these people are used to buying very expensive items and taking positions on businesses and stock and investments and all types of, and boats and all kinds of things that The typical person would not be comfortable with it, but that's why they're a billionaire. You know, if you have a $2 million house in Los Angeles, it's, you know, if you're in the outskirts of Detroit where houses are 50 grand, or in the suburbs, a nice house is 200 grand, 2 million sounds crazy. So everything's also relative. But a $2 million house in Los Angeles is no big deal. So interesting enough, when people have a budget of $100 million, they still don't necessarily get everything they want. How people, no matter if it's $1 million house or a $500,000 house or a $100 million house, is they have a set of things that they want in a house. And they go out and they have usually a budget, even if it's $100 million, they've got a budget what they want to spend. And then they go out and buy the best thing on the market available to them. And if you want a certain thing and $50 million doesn't get you that house, it gets you less in some very rarefied area like Bel Air or Holmby Hills or Beverly Hills. If 50 isn't getting what you want and you've got the money, then that position, if you're that type of person, is very easy. And finally, the one factor, you do have to have that person that's driving that deal. Someone's not going to spend $100 million unless somebody can prove that there's a market there. You've got to make that market. And sometimes with something like that, the market didn't exist. And you've got to somehow connect the dots where someone can triangulate and corroborate and come up with, yeah, this is worth $100 million. And I don't care how great a house is, if that can't be accomplished somehow, and it's usually through a really good broker, if that can't be accomplished, someone will not take that leap where they're the guy who buys the most expensive house. This is a world I've been buying and selling homes in for a long time for clients. So if you have any needs or questions or comments, or you'd like some help knowing about this particular market, if you find yourself in it, leave a comment below and I'd be happy to reply. Thanks a lot.
Leading luxury financing advisors. $1 million plus knows how to shop for the lowest interest rate mortgages available for you. We start by assessing the best possible terms for you, and then we oversee the entire lending process on your behalf.
Using enhanced credit analysis, credit structuring, and our understanding of the state and federal laws that impact borrowing power, our team maximizes your loan qualifications.
We get the best possible results by eliminating stressful problems and costly delays. We have a special feature for you showcasing incredible historic palaces that still stand out today. The Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria, Germany, was Walt Disney's inspiration for the Sleeping Beauty Castle in the inaugural Disneyland theme park in the 1950s, and now worldwide in all Disney-themed parks. The castle, completed in the late 19th century, commissioned by King Ludwig II of Bavaria as a retreat and in honor of the famous German composer Richard Wagner. The Hearst Castle, nestled in San Simeon on the central coast of California, built by publishing tycoon William Randolph Hearst in 1947 with over 90,000 square feet of living space that once sat over 250,000 acres with the most sumptuous swimming pool on Earth, known as the Neptune Pool, with 345,000 gallons of water. In modern day, it has since operated as a Hearst San Simeon State Historical Monument and attracts about 750,000 visitors annually and used in Lady Gaga's music video, G.U.Y., an inspiration for Xanadu residents in 1941 film Citizen Kane. Lastly, the Acre Castle, built by and named after wealth tycoon Otto Herman Kahn in 1919 on the North Shore of Long Island in West Hills, New York. It's the second largest residence in the United States with over 109,000 square feet, once sitting on 400 acres. In present day, the Acre Castle is a popular tourist destination as a hotel complete with over 30 rooms and suites. The best kept secret in the mortgage industry is a secret no more. We built America's #1 multi-million-dollar home financing just for you.
Only $1 million plus delivers superior and confidential financing exclusively for the multi-million-dollar homeowner. Our minimum financing is $1 million, and our maximum mega mansion financing thus far has been $82.8 million.
We work just for you. Aloha, Dave.
Aloha, I'm Dave Richardson with Hawaii Life Real Estate, here on the beautiful and exotic island of Maui. With over 40 years of experience, I've been able to establish lasting relationships that creates a strong referral network. Clients looking to make multi-million-dollar investments want the assurance of a seamless transaction. That is where my 40 years of experience comes into play. Buying on Maui can be an emotional purchase, and it's important for me to provide value for my clients and make sure they don't lose sight of that factor. And therein lies the secret to my success. A low-key, comfortable approach substantiated by a proven track record of satisfied clients. So when buying or selling in Hawaii, please consider Dave Richardson on Maui, Real Estate Services with Aloha. Thank you.
Only $1 million plus works for the borrowers, not the lenders. We shop for the lowest interest rates just for you, so you can shop for the luxury lifestyle of your dreams.
Hey there, what brings you into this?
Hiring our team guarantees that financing your forever home or home of the moment will be at the lowest rate, and you'll be making the lowest payments possible. Plus, you don't even pay $1 million plus 1 cent until after you fund your new $1 million plus mortgage.